Hello. Oh, I forgot. I got very worried for a hot second there. Forgot that my chatting screen was having problems. If the stream cuts out, I apologize. Let's see. Okay. I was not ready. My shower took longer than I thought, and I then had to go to the bathroom, and then I had to let the dogs out because I didn't want them to need to go in the middle of stream. But they seem to be doing all right now. We are kind of doing art today. I have it. I have the wrong title. That's what I forgot. I was like, I was supposed to do something. And I have the title wrong. The stream title is incorrect. It should be... There we go. I have it updated. Okay. Looking good. Okay. Next part, I have to do this. You can just see it. Awesome. I won't do it this way then. No difference. Oh, it's perfect. It's actually perfect. Okay. We're gonna go through what plan I already have for next month. And then we're gonna just like go through the rest of the planning and some doodling. I can be sure things are ready. We're gonna be doing this today and tomorrow. Nothing crazy. Oh, I wanna just spin it. There we go. Excuse me. I'm gonna try not to cough. I might cough, but I'm gonna try not to. If I cleared my throat, I apologize. It's just gonna happen. Oh, that's the other thing. I am going to update the bot. This is how unready I was. Stream. I also gave my hair a rinse through, but it's really knotted. So. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow. There we go. I think the best way to say it is gonna be actually last time we were doing the game, right? My timer's wrong. Switch it. Excellent. Ah. Oof, excuse me. I'm sleepy. I haven't had a whole lot going on all last week. That's because I really had to. A lot going on at work. A lot changing. Molding. Becoming different. So. Sorry, I was getting ready to tweet and I saw something. That's just how it goes, huh? That's just how it goes. What you see on the screen, by the way, is the layout for the project next month. I'll tell you just how many pages and everything that there are. I'll also tell you the planning that I did before all that. Very particular, and there's a lot to do. I'm excited to do it. Wanted to do this project since last February. That's when I initially made ideas and everything for it. So it's gonna be interesting. You'll see that like there's some parts that are. It's not. This is just like a general layout. It's nothing detailed. So again, I'll go over it, but want to be sure that I have everything ready. Tumblr. Pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I also did that post. My last blog post. It was supposed to go out last week, but I didn't post it. So that I could do promotional free blogs for Palestine and such. Various resources and such. Both on Tumblr and Twitter. Especially since I couldn't take off from work. So. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's time. Did it work? Am I up there? Ready? It is. Excellent. Perfect. Fantastical. Beautiful. Okay. Did I have anything actually anything else to talk about? Oh, there was a customer that made me feel old yesterday. Not on purpose. But it's like, when we were talking, I assumed that looking at her, we were the same age. Oh, well, the caffeine has appeared. The caffeine addict has appeared. I think that's what you meant. I thought we were the same age when I was looking at her, and I was like, yeah, you're doing cosplay, you're like buying it yourself. You look about my age. And then we were like talking and stuff, and then she was like, Yeah, I'm 20 something. And it was like a 3-year difference between me and her, and I was like, oh no. Oh no. And it's not that big of a difference, right? 3 years isn't that bad. But something about it, the way that like it happened, I just went silent after she said it. There was like a palpable pause between her saying that and me going, oh. 3 years isn't too bad. It's not. But like in my brain, for some reason, it was surprising. It was really surprising. It's especially not that bad because like even in high school, I was around younger people than me a lot because of anime club. And it wasn't anything crazy, you know? If I was a senior and I was talking to freshmen, it wasn't anything insane. But for some reason, that just like it got to me for some reason. So Hololive fan art, I'm intrigued. Yes, I am quite a Hololive simp. I like Hololive's members. I like all their designs, their artists, and everything. And a long time ago, it was like a year ago, almost exactly a year ago. Like we're about a month off from being exactly a year ago, where I made this plan for a Hololive Lookbook, which was essentially me drawing Hololive members in fashion, not just like modern fashion or something like that, like very specific brands. I like planned out who was going to be associated with which brand, all the way from like Hololive to HoloStars in the English branches. So yeah, Hololive is nice to VH, but there are some VTubers I kind of I find myself liking that sadly aren't in Hololive. That's fair. I think I do like Hololive a lot, but I think that there are a lot of indies or like other corpo VTubers who are very cool. But I also really like the artists that work at Hololive or work with Hololive. Like, that's a big factor for me. Obviously, I mean, I'm obsessed with art, so. Isekai. Japanese female virtual singer. Ah. I've not heard of her before. Music goes hard. A lot of the Japanese VTubers who do music, like, they do music, you know? It's pretty crazy. Intense. Oh, my lag just kicked up. Sorry. There we go. I like her model, though. Very cool. Her, quote-unquote model. The persona. Very nice. It reminds me of something that I can't place. I like how in the heck did she make a beautiful song and yet stream games at the same time? Yeah. I think that's always like the impressive part with some VTubers is how they can be so talented at the things that they like to do, like singing or art or something like that, and yet also be really entertaining with games and stuff like that. It's very fun to see. I can't place it. Like, damn, multitasking skills on them VTubers. Exactly. Me, I got the one brain, one mind for art. That's it. I like video games, but I'm not like good at them or anything, you know? But art, damn. I got an art brainworm. It's the one thing. It's the one thing I do. But it makes me happy. And when I see artists that are VTubers and do a whole variety of stuff, or like VTubers that like do a variety of activities and really like push the boundaries of what they want VTubers to be, that's very fun. I really like that. I like that they are using it as more than the stereotypical image of a VTuber, and they're like trying to prove like it's a medium just as much as the way any other streamer uses it. So here I am blah 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 blah, I can't words. And here I am struggling to simply do maintenance on my Viking styled axes and make a kitchen knife at the same time. Well, I think those are pretty complex things. I think if you're trying to do them at the same time, especially. Sorry, I'm drinking apple juice. Very good. You'd be wrong. I mean, I can't even know where to start with that, you know? I think that's what makes it seem complex to me. If I can't even imagine where you would start with skills and activities that you're trying to like learn or something that you see someone else is really good at, then like what it's like not knowing an entire world of like activities, you know? If you can't even imagine how it starts, then you can't imagine how it ends. It's hard to explain. I imagine it's the way that some people like look at art. Like they see the final product, but they do not see the process that goes into it, or the skills and techniques that someone picks up in order to be able to do it. They're quite simple. I simply need to put a bigger wedge on the axes and use the angle grinder to sharpen both the axes and the knife. Well, that's still a complicated process. You have to like understand where the wedge goes. If you put it in wrong or apply it wrong and then sharpen or grind it incorrectly, you know, that's a whole entire waste of time, so to speak. Because if you do it wrong, like, I assume at that point, the only thing to do is sharpen it even more, you know? You can't take the parts that you shaved off and put them back on, you know? Does that make sense? Actually not complicated. Just a hammer and glue. And the angle grinder is a bit tricky. Yeah. Any bit of tricky, if you don't have practice with it, I think makes it a complex skill. If it's something that you could imagine someone doing one little thing wrong and being like, it's not really gonna turn out the way I want, then it can be pretty complex. Putting up a bookshelf doesn't sound that complex, right? But I've seen people really mess that up. The internet is full of people who mess up little, simple things. I'm missing something on OBS. Missing. I don't see what I'm missing. I'll be fine. I had a frame rate drop. Are we still live? Where's my phone? We'll see. We'll see. Where is my Twitch? There we go. What we got? Oh, I'm still alive. It's still chugging along. Oh, excuse me. So, we're gonna switch over in a second here. I see all my axes little wrap. My axe's little wrap is starting to peel off. Now I have to replace the damn handle wrap. I don't even know what the handle wrap is. Is it like a grip? Like on a pen? You know what I'm talking about? How some pens have like that rubber grip around it. Handle wrap similar to that. It's just like for grip. Yeah. Context clues. Context clues are my best friend. Alright, I'll switch over here. Hopefully it's correct. Yeah, okay. Can I make this larger? Can I like zoom in like here? No, I can't. No, I can't. Kind of like the pencil grip, but white and thin. Huh. Okay. Okay, I can see that. I can imagine what that's like. Alright. So, this project is essentially like a fanzine. Like, it's nothing crazy, it's just drawing the characters in these outfits. I've already technically started it. I have a draft that I'm gonna pull up at some point that we're gonna switch to. But this is, I used Canva to import a bunch of images and such to get the layout of it, because I wanted to be able to export it as like a book form, you know? I got my dogs with me, just in case you hear them. Someday I gotta replace the entire handle as well. That day'll come. That day'll come when you get to it. The only thing I don't have in this layout is Holo Advent, the new girls, and Armus, the new boys in Holo Stars. So I might add them, but this so far is 174 pages. Some of it is text, some of it is like group photo pieces, and some of it is general little write-ups on why I drew things the way that I did, or will draw things the way that I do. But essentially, this is the general layout of how it's gonna go. At least. I'm still like trying to decide if I am gonna add Advent and Hermes. I probably will. It's not super difficult. I would have to figure out what brands I want them to have, though. This is Kuni. This is Council. This is Tempest. Meh. Yeah, I think adding them would help. It'd probably space it out a little bit better. It'd give me up to like 200 pages, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It'll be nice to draw them as well. I haven't really drawn them since their debut. I'm gonna throw these axes out the window soon. I have to erase one more thing on it. I mean, that's just the temperance of physical items, I suppose. That's the only way I could think of to phrase it. Is, it just happens, you know? that one. And I'll have to fix and rename these ones. Fun fact that still impresses me, Mau Mau from Apothecary Diaries has the same voice actor as Tanya from Saga Tanya the Evil. Yeah, she's a pretty prominent voice actor, and she's very good. I think both are very good performances. Advent. This should be a group picture. I will have to pull up the talent page. These two characters are nothing alike. One helps the others and loves poisons, and the other loves committing war crimes. I would agree. But I mean, that's part of being a voice actor, right? Is like being able to stretch what you can portray beyond like one role. If you can only do one role, I don't know what to say about that. Other than you'll only ever get that one role. But even like there's voice actors that do like old people, young people, and they're like middle-aged. Or like old people who do really young people, or like Luffy's voice actor is an older lady, if I remember correctly. Luffy's voice actor. Mayumi Tanaka. Yeah, she's 69. And Luffy's the most energetic kid I've probably ever heard. She's also been voice acting for years. She's done like Dragon Ball Z and all of that. So, not super surprising. To be honest, VTubers make some amazing music. And Return to White by Iseki Joe is like very high on my personal favorite. Yeah, I really like some VTubers' original music more than like their covers sometimes. I feel like sometimes covers aren't as impressive as a lot of the work that they put into making their own works, you know, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain. Okay. I just want the links. Just give me the links. Oh, this is really cool. I don't like this. It's like an open style. Very fun. An extra click that I don't really want to do. It's fun. It's whatever though. It's whatever. Sorry. I was thinking very hard about what I was doing. I'm going to study to have a math test tomorrow. Good luck on your math. Oh, wait! Your coffee cake. I didn't get to know about your coffee cake. How'd it go? That's okay. I'll see you another time. Oh, yes, coffee cake. It was delicious. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. And bitter. I would assume so. You're using real coffee beans, right? So, yeah, that's not super surprising. I'd assume it'd be a little bit bitter. But it's good. That's good that it worked out. Happy belated birthday again. Alright, go do your math. Go do your math. Have a nice night. It's covered in coffee powder. Alright, that's... You didn't even use sugar? No sugar powder on top? No cream or anything? Did you drink milk with it? Bet that would be nice. Okay, let's start with English. Advent. Gotta do my math. You gotta do your math. 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 The more I try to enunciate it, the worse it sounds. Good luck. I wish you luck on your test. I wish you the best of luck. See ya. Okay. Advent is... This should be Shiori. I'm going by, I think, ABC? No. This isn't ABC. How did I write it for? Because this said Nanashi. Oh, okay. It's going by like canon first name. I think. Because I have Calliope Mori. Oh god. I'm so confused. Okay. Watson. So it's like last name. Watson Amelia. Amelia Watson. Takanashi. This is Takanashi Kiara, but I have Takanashi. Calliope Mori. Inome. I suppose it is. Then why is Advent's... Bee Juice isn't. Wawa Mokos aren't. No, Wawa Mokos are. The pain of names. Okay. Let's do novella then. Ella. Or is Ella better? Novella. I think that works. Because it gives the right enunciation. Let's delete these pictures, because these are from Mume. Bronies needs to become Bijou. Because Bijou goes by her full name on the site says Koseki Bijou. But she goes by Bijou. So it's Koseki. I'll just... There we go. Delete this. This. Delete this. Good. This is Sana's. Will become Raven Croft. So essentially, as you can see by these pieces that I'm editing, I just laid out literally every outfit per page. They're from specific brands that I decided, and I will go over in after I have set up the extra pages, because I also need to open like something to write on to demonstrate how I did it. It's very complicated. And it's not entirely accurate anymore. All of these pictures, though, I got from Tag Walk. Tag Walk. Do I want to put a fist guard for both of the girls? For the twins? Do I want them to have the same section? Let's have separate sections for Fuwa and Lookbook. Okay, let's do Abyss. Guard. If. Well, I suppose they're distinct enough that I don't have to put an initialing for their first name. The way that I do others. Because it's still, they're still distinct enough from each other that just having their last name isn't a problem. Part of the reason I also wanted to do this project was because it's not just Hololive that I'm drawing, but also Holo Stars. English branches. I limited it to the English branches because I didn't want to have to worry about drawing like just 1 or 2 pictures per person. I didn't want to do just like 1 picture. I wanted at least 4 for each person. I think I did 5. Yeah, I did 4 for each. And I wanted at least that many, you know? I wanted at minimum 3, but I think 4 ended up looking better when I like laid it out. Since it's like double spread pages. I think the only person that technically has more than that is Iris, because I did a version of her classic look as well as her redone look, like her updated model. And that was because I really liked the original model a lot, and I didn't want to like, I think that there were some aspects of it that were very fun to draw, and it's a little piece of history, you know. It also evened things out in a way that I really liked. When I initially had it, I didn't know where to put Iris because she associated individually by herself. But I wanted also a way for her to be included with the others. So I have sections where this is Iris with her updated model here. And I wanted her to be after Council, but I also wanted her to be after Myth, because that's like the order in which she debuted. She debuted after Myth, and this was originally by like debut order. I think that's why Amelia is first, and then it goes in order of that, but I don't exactly remember. It's possible that it's not, but that was the general idea I believe I had within relation to Iris's position in the magazine. Alright, let me do one more copy and paste for Armis. And this is another thing that I wanted to be sure of, was that it wasn't just half of it was the girls and half of it was the boys. I wanted to be sure that there was like girls, then boys, then girls, then boys. Which is why Tempest is right after Myth, and right after Iris, rather than like Counts will be immediately after Myth. So it's still technically in like branch debut order, but it's more mixed together, so I have an even balance of both of them. So this is Advent. This should be Armis. I don't think that they're technically Armis. It's Badlands, right? I guess it's technically Armis Badlands. because I split Tempest by location. I know that technically Battle and Machina are lore-wise from Elysium, like they live in Elysium or whatever, but I wanted the introduction of Xeno Kuni to be like a significant break in their layout here, so that's part of why it says Tempest Xeno Kuni rather than just like Tempest Headquarters or something like that. I also felt like Tempest Headquarters encompassed everyone when there was everyone. I made this last February. That's when I started planning this. Back then, there were 2 people who are no longer in Tempest anymore. So, that is kind of why it is the way that it is here. And why I felt like it was a better distinction to label the place after the Tempest branch. Because I also assumed Tempest was like the branch, you know? I thought like it was Holostar's English, and then it was gonna be Tempest in the way that like it's Myth and then Council. And then Xeno Kuni, the whole Xeno Kuni group came in, and they were still technically a part of Tempest. I was like, oh wait. wait. So. Armis. I can't find stuff specifically about Armis. It seems. All Stars English Armis. I'm pretty sure it's that they're from the Badlands, and Armis is like their name, quote unquote. Oh, Armis is a group of the world's strongest bounty hunters that stand apart from the 6 righteous heroes of Tempest. These brave men are looking to make it big by exterminating all corruption beasts. They'll carve out a new future for all to see. Okay. I wonder if the next group for Hollow Stars English is also going to be Armis, in the way that the Xeno Kuni members are also a part of Armis or Tempest. Because it feels very possible, but at the same time, like, there's every chance that there's not, that they're their own thing as well. Because it's the 6 heroes of Tempest. And it doesn't say, like, how many people are in the group of Armis. It just says Armis is a group of the world's strongest bounty hunters. So, there could be more. We'll have to see. But to keep in line with, like, the Tempest Elysium, the Tempest Xeno Kuni kind of line that I'm going down, I think I'll go with Armis Badlands. Double check that that is the correct location for Armis. Hollow Stars? Oh, Armis happened. Yes. This is the Badlands. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. They're in the Badlands. They're in the Badlands. I've also seen maps of Xenokuni where fan-made maps where there's like very obviously been a back and forth between the locations. I think I just have to delete this page actually. Copy. One. I have to just copy this. I'm pretty sure it's the same, but just in case. Should here. Is that correct? That's not correct. Here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this needs to say Armis. This should be Badlands. I'm sure that looks exactly the way that I typed it before, but we'll see. Okay, so I have to redo this holo merch section because I think there's better merch to do now for this. Last year there was not nearly as much as there is now, but I think I'm gonna remove actually the Holo Omocat section because there was Hololive Meets that had Altair, but it didn't have like the rest of Tempest, and it feels a little oddly placed in that case. I think I'm gonna like delete it from having its own section and rather just expand the general merch section. So I'm gonna do that. Delete that, and then just duplicate that page. So I still wanted to have like a Hololive group Omocat page here. Obviously, this is the Omocat merch, but I think that's gonna be a better way to do it. Especially since I'm not going to be using the actual images of Omocat's stuff. I'm going to be drawing it. So keeping it simpler as a single page would probably be better. I'll go through what these are so far, and then I'll like think about which ones I want to add. Probably go through the merch page real quick. So this is from one of the Halloween merch drops, when there was still only Myth and Council. I think it was around the time that they were releasing those like weekly Halloween Myth videos, Myth and Council videos, where like they were manga written by Fauna. So they had brought artists in to draw and all of that. But they were essentially like voiced comics. And I'm pretty sure this is from around that time. This was some simple design stuff that I thought was still really cool. It was manga art. And it was really simple, like plain text, little imageries, and just like a nice arrangement of stuff. So it was also a part of like the Hololive Meets, as you can see here. So this was some birthday merch. At this point I'm gonna add more because I think there's been some really cool birthday merch come out. But this was the first like birthday merch that I thought was really cool in like a accessory kind of way. This is really meant to be like, on top of being just Hololive merch, an accessory section where I show some of the accessories that Hololive has done for their merch. I think the rat sack is awesome. I'm so sad that I didn't get it. I have the Resident Scholar teapot here. This is from Christmas? I'm pretty sure it was Christmas. Or maybe it was Valentine's? Might have been Valentine's Day. Where Maury had written some video, some like YouTube video style, like choose your own adventure videos. And they got artists to do the outfits and all of that. And I thought that the outfits were really cute, very different from the model outfits and all of that. So I was planning on doing that. I think they also released these as acrylic stands, but I might be incorrect about that one. Excuse me. I don't remember when this is from. But it was obviously an Almay collaboration. These two t-shirts, I thought they were like really cute, very simple. I wanted to do one of acrylic stuff. Acrylic accessories. So I was going to do the Valentine's Day Tempest stuff. I was going to do Tempatsu since, you know, it's a very iconic moment in many ways, you know? So, there it is. I enlarged it so that I could remember that's what that is better. This seemed really tiny. This is probably my favorite hoodie from Ina's birthday merch. I have this hoodie, so I have, of course, was going to include it. I like that it has a little takorachi. Very cute. The KFP and Gargura. I think this was anniversary merch, actually. Because it has the KFP stuff, and then Gura's crossbody bag, which I'm pretty sure was... It was announced on one of their anniversary collab streams, one of their 3D streams. Because I remember Gura, like, just pointing at it. At least I think that's what that one is, so. But it was very nice. The Omo Cat one, obviously. And then I have to decide what the other ones are going to be. I want more Tempest merch. And now that some of the boys have had their birthdays, I think I can find more. But essentially, that's what that section is. The next section, I believe, is group photos. Yes. The guild style is all of Tempest. The legend style is council and myth. I wanted like a title that sort of fit both generations or both branches in their entireties. This one I'm probably going to change to Elysium style or Paradise style. And then the final group section is Holo English, which is Holo Stars and Hololive English in their entireties. So that's what this whole section is. And then I had a section for Sana by herself because at the time she was the only one who had graduated. I might add another section for Magni and Vesper. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking about it. I'm considering it. And you can see, like, for Sana, it seems like a long section, but I think I had planned on having her go to other places, like Elysium and there was another like specific location that I wanted her to go to. in the lore of Hololive. If that makes sense. History of Hololive Universe. Thank you, Hololive Fan Wiki. Much appreciated. Beginning of the universe. The chaos of nothingness, council was brought together to bring order. With the creature of life and nature, death is also created. Creation of the universe, according to Egyptian and Greek mythology, the phoenix is also created. From unspecified time, hope is born, symbolizing civilization's ambitions and aspirations. After some unspecified amount of time, the secret society HoloX is established. Based on the timeline of Hololive Universe, based on official Hololive talent backgrounds, historical mythology, or fictional works. Events in the Hololive alternative universe are not taken into consideration. Okay. Such a big project. How much time have you been working on it? I've been planning on it for about a year, because the first time I have something written down about it is February 27th. Hello, Arshvin. How are you doing today? Welcome on in. Thank you for dropping in. But the first time I have something written down, like really written about it, is February 27th of last year. I had been like on a road trip or something, I think, and I just came up with the idea while I was on the drive back. So it's been a while. I had started even like sketching it, which we'll look at in a little bit. But I wanted to make sure I had enough pages that it looked all right when I laid out all of the plans and all of that. So like you can see, I've laid out what outfits I'm gonna draw people in and all of that. I've decided which brands they're gonna be in, and I'm gonna write out like the general planning that I did in a more clean way than what I have it, because it's on a very small page. And it'll be nice to make sure that it works, especially since this is going to be the project for next month. Pretty much all of the art streams next month, pretty much all streams next month are going to be working on this in some capacity. Whether it's like doing a sketch, coloring and drawing, or like animating it. There are some pages that I want to try like animating. So this is going to be a big like free fanzine essentially. It's like a doujin, but there's not going to be any comic element to it. It's just going to be like a big old magazine where I draw the Hololive members in different fashion stuff. So I might as well add Magni and Vesper in here at the end. I actually think that I will put them before Sana though. Let's go in here. Sana off-world, and then maybe Magni. Magni. I still also have to decide a lot of the outfits for the group image sections. I laid out what each section was going to be, and then I had a bonus section which was going to be the group photos, where they are in a mix of like seasonal and resort wear. A lot of the other stuff is like couture to ready wear line stuff, so very confusing, but like I was hyped up on a lot of fashion stuff at the time, and this is usually around the time that I start really getting into looking at what came out in the previous year of fashion and all of that, so it kind of makes sense that I'm ready to gear up on this again. So Magni in research, let's do that, because then it can be a decent spread of stuff. Can I spell search correctly? I can't. Research. I can't spell research. Excuse me, doggies. Do you mind? Doggy. Stop scratching. Up. Sorry, I got my dogs with me today. Oh. Just opened up Google. Awesome. Research. It does have an A. I gotta expand this a little bit. Nope. Just expand a little bit. There we go. The reason I'm using Canva to lay it out too is because it's a vector program, so everything has like an alignment on the page. This way I don't have to worry about like the graphic part of the pages, like all of these little details and all of this. I actually literally took this from one of the templates, I think, and just refocused it to how I kind of wanted it to look. There's still some other things that I have to change about it. Like I don't think I want the barcode to be there. I might put something else there. I don't want a date. I might put a date on the earlier sections, which them individually, but I don't know that I want a date in some of the later sections or group sections. So there's still things that I have to change about this layout, but we'll see. This one should be Vesper. What would Vesper be doing? What would Vesper be doing with his time? Let's try scholar, research, trip, send no him. Class trip, fact finding, field trip, investigation, research, survey. Survey works. On survey. Because then it kind of leads and works well with Sauna Off-World. I want Sauna to be last because space. I have to change this now as well from guild style to... Is Elysium the world or is it the place? All stars Elysium. I might actually change it to Paradise. I think that's what the world of Hollow Star is in. Off. Hollow Star is English. Hello world. 2023 debut. Concept art, Utopia Elysium. A solution / digital world conceptualized after countless years spent in pursuit of perfection. Wasn't to last forever. Records corruption. Adventure Guild Tempest. Xeno Kuni. East of Utopia. So Utopia is a location. It's not... It's not the world. But there is a world tree. Hmm. There's also the Badlands at this point, though. The site hasn't been updated to show that. Elysium... Badlands. Badlands, located in southern Elysium. So Elysium is the world. The lore behind Hollow Tempest and the word of Elysium. Oh, it's Rayless! Of course it is. Oh, Utopia's the place. Okay. It's so... The nation is Utopia. The world is Elysium. Okay. Let's do Elysium style. And I will switch the Tempest section to say, not Elysium, but Utopia. No, I'll have it say headquarters. So I feel like that's how Altair refers to it a lot. I feel like that's how most people refer to it a lot. But I feel like that also then qualifies the Xeno Kuni member. I'll do Utopia. Yeah. Let me watch the rest of Rayless' video. He really gets work. Huh? Uh-huh. The first adventure. Okay. The Hollow Tree. It's a world tree. Oh, NPCs gaining sentience. Okay. So it is, in fact, an isekai. That doesn't surprise me, but at the same time, no. Oh, there it is, the map of Elysium. This is the thing I wanted to see. This is the thing. I'm gonna put it here so you can see. This is the thing that I have been thinking of, talking about it this whole time. So this is from the Armis debut watch along, and I knew I had seen it somewhere, where they talk about the actual map and like world of Elysium. It also says the map of Elysium, right? Utopia or Paradise. Okay. The Hollow Tree, the Xeno Kuni, which is where the NPCs that gain sentience are, and then the Badlands, which is Armis's group. Which is why I think there's going to be another group here, and they could be a part of Armis, or they could be their own group. So, we'll see. It could be like an entirely different group of adventurers or whatever, but it's cool. It's cool. So that's correct now. Tempest Utopia. This is the group that debuted under Utopia. And this is the group that debuted under Xeno Kuni. At Badlands. I have to change the names! That's what I was forgetting. I essentially want to make sure that, like, I have enough pages, and I have an idea of what everything's gonna be. We're probably gonna also look at some fashion. Try and decide some brands for these people specifically. This should be Mr. Rexford. Next should be... I can't give Gold Bullet or Octavio a last name because they don't have last names. Okay. I suppose that makes sense. They are bounty hunters. It's like, might as well go by one name. Be mysterious and all that. Do I do Octavio or do I do Octavio? Octavio. This is the part that I kind of think is fun, trying to figure out how to make it look good. Could do Octavio. Octavio. Oh, that looks a little odd actually. Let's do Octavio rather than Octavio. And this should be... Oh, they only have 4 members. Interesting. Interesting. Ruse. Mr. Crimson himself. Well, he goes by Ruse, doesn't he? Should I do Crimson instead? I feel like I'm unsure. Crimson for Ruse. Okay, I'll go by Crimson then. Crimson. Criminy. Why Criminy? Fun. And then I can delete the Abyss Guard section. Ooh, that means that it's shorter than the rest, isn't it? Because they have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's incorrect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's correct for Tempest. Okay. So I can delete this one. These 5. Perfect. And that gives space again to the bottom where we added Magni and Whisper. In fact, I might change this since they already have their own sections within to just be three pages. Doing it for Sana as well. Whoops. And then, oh, actually I want those last 2 pages. I want these 2 to be group photos, like total group photos. So I think I'm gonna change the color of them so I can be sure that's what's going on. And I'm just gonna delete this one and duplicate this one. There we go. And those 2 will be our group photos. I don't know how we're gonna decide who is on which page, but I will. The last part is just like a writing section that I want to use for any random things that I'll want to have talked about. I'll probably talk about the stream in this section. And then this is the back cover. So I wanted to lay it out in case I ever decided that I wanted to print it It would be very big. Obviously, it's 228 pages. And I don't know how easily I could increase the scale of this, of the size that it is right now. So it's just one of those things I'll have to see about. Let's do a quick look through of everyone's outfits, and I'll tell you the brands that I believe they are from. There's some of them that will be incorrect because I had changed them when I was looking through the actual stuff. But I'll tell you what I had originally planned on having for each member and have be like their brand. So, I should write it out. I'll write it out. Hold on. Oh, that's the wrong button. I'm not gonna write it out. I'll write it out later. But I'll go through and tell you what I have written so far for each person, and then I'll go through and tell you what the actual things are, based on my actual mood boards and stuff. I used Tagwalk because they have a system where you can insert, you can essentially create a mood board by pinning, like Pinterest, pinning certain looks from certain brands and stuff. So we're gonna go over that. This is nothing. I'm gonna change this, these pictures here, but I've written this part just as, because this is like how I use this. This is how I write this. I suppose this should be 8-ish years now, because I wrote this last year. So I'll read this real quick. I'll even read this little disclaimer. And I included the disclaimer because it's gonna be a free thing unless I print it. In which cases I will try to figure something out, I suppose. So, hello, I'm Hisui Cotton, and I thank you for picking up this fanzine. It's a mix of two things I've been really interested in making: Hololive fan art and a lookbook. All the fashion and such you see are real pieces of fashion from Runway and ready-to-wear lines. All my references came from the website Tagwalk, a fashion search engine that has references of all the big Runway, ready-to-wear, and accessory releases that have come out in the last 8-ish years, and even some older lines. I hope you all enjoy the fashion and fan art, and hopefully see both in a refreshing and new way. This is a fan work. All the art is made by me, Hisui, as a fan work. There's no official association with Hololive or a fashion brand presented. References come from across Hololive English, Hololive merch, name fashion brands such as Moschino, Dolce & Gabbana, Kid Super, etc. All pieces have a description of the clothes and brands as well as the models, Hololive talents, which is what those sections in between are. These sections here, these are actual like bags. I'm going to be inserting more accessories into these sections, but this is where I describe the model and then the brand. And that's essentially what I was talking about in this last sentence here. And I wanted to be sure that I did that because you can see in the planning here, I've like taken pictures directly from those walks to plan this. So I wanted to be sure that I included references back to sources and stuff like that for people to check out later. So that's what that is. This is going to be an index. I haven't adjusted it at all. This was like a travel magazine or something like that. So it's like Editor's Note, hidden hotels, stuff like that. So I don't know why this is orange. That's weird. Oh, I do know why that's orange. I didn't do that through the whole thing, right? No, I didn't. It's too far to scroll. So first section was Holomyth. These pages actually are meant for group photos, where I draw the group together. These pages are for secondary group photos, like essentially a breakdown of whatever I end up putting here. And then it goes into each individual person's section. So first is Amelia. I went with Ferrari and Mochizno for Ame, based on my original notes. This is definitely Ferrari. I remember this one very distinctly because I figured since Ame was first, it would be a good test to actually like put in the picture. Here, I'll even actually show you which picture I did, because I tested this last year. I wanted to make sure that I had an idea of what it was gonna look like if I ended up doing it. It didn't quite turn out the way that I wanted, I would say, but it was still something that I felt like I could do. I would just have to do better than I did in this test. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about any of that. It's gonna put it? Are you gonna open the picture? Open the picture, please. Oh, my computer might just be slow. It is. It's slow. It's so slow. It's so slow. I don't need you to load the other stuff. Just put the picture in. Oh, it's uploading it. Oh, there it is. So this is the picture that I actually ended up with in this case, based on these. I'm probably still gonna keep this picture because I felt like it was really nice. Oh. Okay. You might be logged out or offline. If not, our servers may be temporarily unavailable. Well, that's very funny. I get this back in here. I might have tried too hard to make it work. But essentially, I might keep this one. I might redo it. We'll see. But I have an idea of the... Oh, okay. That's fine. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save anyways. So this was essentially how I was going to be doing the project. It would be some mixture of like an interesting fan art, some fashion, as well as like a personal flair, an idea of illustration. I did a really simple like color work on this. It's got some nice highlights on it, but it still showcases like the character of Ame as well as the outfit. It's not exactly what I wanted. It could be better, but I feel like it was a good first test. Definitely showed things the way that I wanted them to generally look. This was also still when I was using Psy, so very different. Very different from what I've been doing recently. Oh, there he goes again. That's fine. Oh no. Control Z Z Z Z Z. There we go. One more Z. There we go. I'll keep those there just for posterity. in case it actually did go offline. And then I think this one is actually Mochizno. When I was looking through fashion and stuff, a lot of it was stuff that I felt like would look good on the character, quote unquote, or that would be different for them. So there's stuff in here. I kind of wanted the mechanic look for Ame, but also like something kind of stylish, fancy, but also cute and poppy. I wanted to be able to showcase the characters in a variety of ways and like their general personalities. So I gave each one at least 2 brands to work with or to try out that I thought I would like to see them in outfits from. That ended up not being the case for some of them, but I'll get to that when I get to that. As I said, some of them will not be the brands that I say off of this list. But Ame's was Ferrari and Mochizno. I'm pretty sure this is the only Ferrari one. I think the rest of these are Mochizno, as well as these bags. I'm pretty sure both of these bags are Mochizno. That's Mochizno, yeah. So Ame's was also the only one where I think I've specifically chosen the accessories. I think there's one for Sana, but I'm not sure. Next is Kiara, who I did Noonbeam Noor and Natasha Zink. I literally went through Tag Walk list of brands and all that to figure out a lot of these. So I wanted something that I figured fit, but also that I had some recognition of the style of. So Noon, this is definitely Noon. I'm pretty sure this one is Noon. I think this one might be Natasha, but I'm not sure. And I'm pretty sure this one is Noon as well. But honestly, I can't remember. But I wanted something very cute, but also casual for Kiara. I feel like she gets to be in a lot of cute outfits, but not like this kind of cute, you know? She's got a lot of appeal in a variety of places, and I wanted to give her something a little different, you know? These are the default images for this magazine, actually. These are not, you're gonna see these 2 pictures so much. And that's like a section divider again, so. This is Mori's section. I wanted something red from Mori to start off. Hers are Dolce and Amlash? Amlash, maybe. I didn't actually say all of these out loud. Some of them also, they're not like name brands, they are industry brands. So like Dolce and Gabbana, it's a name brand, but like it's essentially its own industry brand at this point. But there's some other ones that are generally like little brands. I said before there's Kid Super in here. I think that is actually for Flayon. Yeah, Flayon has Kid Super. So there's some of them that are going to be recognizable from the last 3 to 4 years, and others that are just kind of in there. But they're based on their designers, and those designers are listed as the brand in some cases. So Callie has Dolce & Gabbana as well as Amalash. I wanted something kind of sexy, but also kind of fun and, you know, casual. I also gave her the 2000s core one. I saw this one and I was like, I gotta put Callie in that. So I think the sketches I showed the other day actually shows all of Myth's outfits. I also have this one as a bonus one that I wanted to do. I gave this one to Callie technically. I think it's Dolce. I'm not sure. So that's one that I know that I wanted to draw her in, even if it was only in a sketch form. It's not something that I want to totally follow through on the full image for. Ina's was next. I gave Ina the fun brands. I gave her Comades and Noir K. I believe both are Japanese brands. I'm pretty sure Comades is a Japanese brand technically. Comades de Grasse or something like that. They're fairly popular. They're the weird brands, from what I understand. They're for the weirdos out there, you know, like me. So I like Ina is my Oshi, so I gave her these ones. The ones that I was most looking forward to, just like being weird, you know? So this is Ina's first one. I have to redraw a lot of Ina's because I didn't quite like the way that they were looking. So they're very cool and experimental, but the way that I was drawing them didn't feel like they had the right atmosphere to them. This is another bonus one for Ina. So I have to redo a lot of Ina's in the sketch phase. A lot of the other members of Myth, though, I'm not too worried about how the sketches turned out. There's some of Gura's that I also have to redo. Gura got Mogli Pascal and Ashley Williams. I'm pretty sure both of those are name brands. I wanted to give her some of the cutie ones, but also like I want to put her in pants. I know she doesn't like pants, but I want to put her in pants. This is Magaland. I figured that was the one. A lot of the Mogli Pascal ones are more poppy. I think I also chose for some of them very specific time periods, but I don't really remember. I think I kind of fudged that one halfway through the list, so some of these are still fairly modern. They're either from 2019 or later. And then as we get further down, some of them will be a bit older. Or newer. Some of them will be like brand new brands. Or brands that only had one show ever. I also wanted to give Gura some like something different, you know? Something different from her usual kind of feeling. Something just not her, you know? I wanted Gura to be different. Then we have Iris, who I think was the last part of my initial sketches. Iris has Prada and Below Who. I wanted to give her some kind of like naturalistic, angel, devil kind of stuff. Gods and devils and demons, and kind of get something cool in there, but also give her something like just weird, you know? I wanted to give everyone a little something that's a little weird, but also like different from something I actually would expect them to wear. This one is probably the most Iris, I think. I also wanted to give her this one. I felt like it was really cute, but also it in some way like screams innocent at the same time, you know? So this is another one that I want to give her. And then I got into Tempest. I think I had sketched one of Vespers, but I did not like it. I'm not excellent at, I'm not even necessarily good at drawing guys. So that's gonna be a big hurdle and part of me doing this project is drawing the guys. So first we have Vesper. Vesper has Louis Vuitton and Bottega. I wanted him to have like jackets and stuff. I felt like it worked well for his body. This was before the second model by Paco. So this is like what I had an idea of when he had his original model. But I feel like I'll probably draw it with his second model instead. I feel like it still fits enough to work with it, you know? And I wanted something also kind of fun. Men's fashion is it's got a variety of stuff in there. Next, we got to Altair, who had 2 Montclair and YS. I think it doesn't change until I get to Axel, when I decide like that I didn't actually like the ideas that I had written down. So after Altair's, things will probably be incorrect. Altair had 2 Montclair and YS though. I saw these brands and I was like, those are pretty cool. I wanted something kind of in the realm of the digital hero, but also kind of streetwear like. I felt like Altair would look good in streetwear. So that's what we have going on here. Next is Axel. I just have Axel. His name is Axel Syria. He goes by Axel. Sirios? I think I'm gonna change that to Sirios. Let's keep the last names going. So, Axel, I originally wrote Tom Hilfiger and Blood Brothers. Some of these I have abbreviated because if I'm looking them up, you know, they're gonna show up whether I have it totally correct or not. So he had Tommy Hilfiger and Blood Brothers. I think this is also where I changed the dates and stuff I was looking at. So this is Blood Brothers. Obviously, you can see behind them. I felt like it had a nice edginess to it, but also like felt like Axel needed a little bit of, you know. He needed some casual stuff, but also some not so casual. Next was Des Magni. I'm going to change this to Desmond. So I gave Magni 1 Montclair. So Axel has the brand, or sorry, Altair has the brand 2 Montclair, and then Des has 1 Montclair. I'm pretty sure they're like the same family brand, like they come from the same like general family, but they have different brand names for the different seasons. I'm not sure. I don't know how it works. But they have the same Montclair name. As well as Puma. So Magni also has Puma. And I wanted something kind of casual. Seems like a laid back bro, you know. But also, I want to give him some weird fits. Because he got them 8 arms. 8 arms? I don't remember how many arms he has. It's been a while. So I wanted to give him at least 1 weird one, and then just, you know, some other casual sporty stuff. Stuff I thought would look good on his model. Next was Hall Council. So this is actually Council. I have Iris written next because I still wasn't sure about the order I was doing it in. So I will get back to Iris's second group of brands when I wrap back around to her. Mume had Dior and Bob by Abley. Bobby Abley. I have like a space after Bob, so I don't know. But Dior is one that I think I've actually drawn fauna in before. There was a point where I was just kind of readying up for this project by drawing characters in general fashion stuff. I'm pretty sure this one is Dior as well. It's from one of the resort lines. I also wanted to give Mume a weird one. So I gave her the Scarecrow because she forgot. She forgot, you know? And then I think this one might be Dior, but I'm not sure. But essentially, I wanted to give her something nice, clean, organized, but also a little fun. I wanted this one especially after I had watched one of her emo streams or something like that, so it felt like I wanted something simple, kind of ominous in some ways if I wanted to make it. I can definitely see Nanashi wearing those. Yeah, they're very... I wanted something that, like, fit the characters, but also, like, were fun, you know? They were still different from what you would expect. But they, nonetheless, still have a vibe of fitting. So, next was Crony, I believe? Yes, Crony. So Crony has Victor and Rolf, which is like a very artsy brand, and Alexander McQueen. I definitely chose Alexander McQueen on purpose. Alexander McQueen has some very like clean, but also very like sexy looks. It's very hard to explain without showing you. I'm pretty sure this one is a Rolf one. I thought it was very different for Crony, but it also, like, you know, it's fun. It's fun. This is an Alexander McQueen one, and this is kind of what I mean. It's very, there's a lot of leather, but it's also very, like, reserved at the same time, you know? So this is Alexander McQueen, I'm pretty sure. This is a Victor and Rolf one. This was kind of viral for the whole show. Like, it was this very glitched, almost like clipping style of clothing the whole entire time. So I wanted to do something like this. It includes the bodysuit, and I felt like it was a nice touch for the timekeeper, you know? Crony. This is probably the other Alexander McQueen one. I think I might switch this one out, just because I don't know how I feel about the jean part, but I feel like it's still a nice look. And these are very different for Crony, but also still feel like, you know, you could see how we get there eventually, but it was mostly for fun with Cronies. This is Sana's. I'm not sure if I think I can't remember why this was the order of them. It might have been, I thought it was debut order for a second, but Mume came first in that case, which I don't think is correct. I don't think she debuted first. I'll have to double check. But I put Sana's, I think, in the middle because she had graduated and I didn't want her at like the beginning or the end and to feel like left out in that way. So Sana's was much more elegant, but also kind of artistic in some ways, but also very simple. Like, this is off-white and Allegri, which has a lot of accessories. This is probably the only other section which I chose specific accessories rather than like just outfits themselves. So Sana has Allegri and Off-White, and that was kind of on purpose as well. Off-White's artistic director passed away the year before, in 2022, I think. And I felt like a lot of their stuff kind of fit Sana's vibe in some way. But yeah, I felt like it also was very nice for the fact that she I graduated. But also, they're carrying on the brand, so it's very nice. I'm always excited to see what they're gonna do. Next is Fauna. Fauna has Coach and Guero. Guo? I just have Guo. G-U-O. I don't know what brand that is. But Coach. This is one of the Coach lines. I think this was in the Scooby-Doo collaboration that they had done. There's definitely like a Scooby-Doo sweater in this line. I can't remember though. I felt like it was a very Fauna look though. And I wanted a lot of the more artsy ones, again, similar to Ina's, where you could have this like casual look, something less, you know, godly or goddess-like, for Mother Nature, but also a lot of stuff that would still fit her vibe, you know? It'd still be cute and casual. So a lot of that is why I have like 2 very specific ones, and then just a couple of cute or casual ones. Who's next? Next is Bae. Ended off with Bae in this section. She has Nina Ricci and Ralph Lauren. I wanted just chaotic stuff for Bae. I remember thinking, like, how can I be both casual and chaotic with Bae's stuff? So she has some odd outfits as well, like this one. This is obviously a resort wear. It's like a summer swimsuit, but it's also a little, it's different. It's got some bold colors in it. I have this one. It has red, white, and blue, like the American flag, but I was like, I could just change the colors. But I might keep it the same. It's also got some greens in there. Pretty nice. But it's also kind of chaotic looking. It's got a lot of elements going on with all the color changes. I wanted to give her something elegant as well. Something just simple, black and white. Not keeping it totally crazy the whole time, you know? This one's probably the craziest out of them all, though. So. Let's see. Next, I have the redesigned iris. So I had split Iris's sections into 2 because I think it was shortly before I originally wrote this idea down that she had gotten her redesign done, and it still felt different enough that, like, I liked both the original design and the redesign. I really liked the hair element on the original design, but the redesign's like overall look was still very cool to me. And there's some very specific changes in like the actual physicality of them that I wanted to be able to recognize and highlight in this. So I chose to split irises into 2 different ones. And I think this is the only one aside from maybe one other one where I had decided the cover page as well. This version for Iris has Costella and Aelis, which are, I think, shorter brands. They haven't had a whole lot of lines from what I remember. Nora, stop. Not good for your paws. Stop. Sorry, drinking my drink. And I wanted something more elegant for this one because it has the Ascendance kind of feeling to it. When she was doing the reveal, it was like she went up to heaven to change clothes and all of that. So they also reduced her like horns down, so I wanted it to be less, I wanted to have some really elegant ones in this one. So there's a lot of long flowy fabrics as well as lacing and stuff like that. So I think this section is also longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this one is longer than most of the other ones by 1 or 2. Because I wanted to give her a good section At the time, she wasn't a part of Holo Promise. She was still by herself. So I wanted to give her something extra, you know. I might change that a little bit, but we'll see. Next is Tempest Xeno Kuni. So this is the second half of Tempest. We start with Shinri. Yes. Shinri has a cold wall and blondes. I feel like there might be another word missing from blondes brand name, but it might not be. I remember this one has some very sexy looks. I wanted to have fun and be different with Shinri's than his usual stuff, which is fine in some ways. I think he's kind of opened up a bit more. He wants to be a little bit less say-so, but I really, at this time, I wanted to see something different. So I know two of these are very different. So there's this one. I liked that it was like all gold, but also very different. And then this one is very fun. It's very cute. It's practically a Kigurumi. And I felt like that was very different for him as well. And then there was this one as well, which is also the same model. I think I actually had filtered by model with this one. Yeah, because it's the same guy. It's the same guy. And I don't remember if whether or not these brands are exactly the same. I think these ones might be a little bit different. But I thought this Dracula look was very cool. It would be interesting to see on Shinri. So Shinri's got some fun ones there. Next is Gavis Battle, who has Raph Simmons and Winnie. I think this might be the same. I think if I changed either of these two, it was probably Winnie. But I really like Raph Simmons' like clean, lanky kind of style. On his clothes, not on the models that he chose. They fit the models that they chose because they're pretty tall. And Gas seems like a tall, lanky guy, you know, a real fail girl energy, but something simple, but also with some fun patterns mixed in. Overall, I was having fun with the second half of Tempest. Next is Haka, who has Pressant and Undercover. I liked this headwear especially, and I felt like Haka's should be... I feel like he's a styling guy, and obviously he's got his new outfit out, and it's very styling, it's very fun. But I also wanted like something kind of streetwear. I kept some more streetwear looks for a lot of the Tempest boys. I feel like streetwear is one of those understandable, like, more male focused brand things. A lot of people see streetwear and they think of more male styles, so I kind of kept that in there for accessibility purposes for people who are checking it out if they wanted to check it out, you know. I think this is the weird one. I saw this little dude standing next to this girl and I was like, what the heck is that? So I grabbed this one for Haka. I feel like you would appreciate the weirdness of it. Maybe I'm just projecting though. But it's fun. I saw this whole... I looked through this whole line. I don't remember which brand it's a part of. It might be Undercover. But they have a whole bunch of these weird little dudes in there, and I'm like, that's so cool. You just put a weird little dude next to all this cool fashion, and it's very fun. I might even include that little dude in the drawing. We'll see. Next, and finally, because at the time there was only Myth, Council, Headquarters Tempest, and then Vanguard Tempest, and Iris. There was no Advent nor Armis. So Fleons is the last part of this section. Oh. Didn't load. Ah, yes. So this is the first of Machina's. Fleons. He has Kid Super and Balenciaga. I have a question mark next to Balenciaga, so I might have changed that one, actually. I did not. It's still Balenciaga. Balenciaga has very weird, like, future feeling to it. And I wanted that for Machina, obviously. He's got his mech and all of that. So, this is I wanted casual stuff, but also kind of funky, weird, fun stuff. And I saw this one Asuka outfit. Someone did like an Evangelion line collaboration, and I was like, it's a mecha. So I have this one as well. Now we get to the section I haven't planned, because they didn't exist at this time that I had written this one. I do have some brands written down that I could probably work into these ones for Holo Advent and Armis, but I might not. I might leave it alone. Might find them their own brands, because I still have the general group sections as well. But yeah, that's all of the ones that I have planned out. Those are literally 91 looks, or somewhere around there, that I had chosen for each of the Hololive English branch members, both Hololive and HoloStars. Next, I will pull up the ones that I have sketched. We have the Hololive merch down here, which I explained earlier, and then just the general styles. The Elysium styles, Legend style, and Hololive English, or the Holo English, those are all group sections. So Elysium style is HoloStars, Legend style is Hololive, and then Holo English is both branches together. And then we have the graduates. I imagine these two pages are going to be final group pages, just like giant ass group drawings. We might do those two particularly on stream, and then I'll figure out kind of the rest. I don't really know how long it will take. I don't even know that I'm all gonna get it all done on stream or anything like that. It's possible I just won't. It's possible it'll take another year for me to do any more work on it. But I'm opening up the sketches that I did get done. So, as I mentioned, I had all of Holo Myth sketched out, as well as the original Iris look. I did these shortly after I got home from originally planning this. So we have Ame, which includes this picture. It's because I originally did this in Paint Tool side, the layers on this one are all messed up. So they look odd, but there's that drawing. And then I have this one, which is the same outfit, but more casually posed, because I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to use this one. But I had drawn essentially all of them out. There were a lot of them I wanted to change because I felt like they didn't really work as compositions. I think a lot of the Kiara ones are probably my favorites. Like this one I really like. I think this one's pretty cool, but I have to change it up a little bit, pose-wise. I liked her shopping at the supermarket and all that. And then, Callie's were probably the most complete. They were pretty easy to do. The Y2K one, this one, and then this one. This was the leather red one. And, it was pretty simple. Nothing crazy. Hinas are the ones that I definitely have to, I want to totally like rethink and redo if I can. Because they're really simple. They're not really fully thought out. I think this is probably the best one out of them. And there's a vibe on some of them that I want to change a little bit. I wanted something that I could do a cool illustration of, and then also like do a bit differently. Next we have Guras. Guras I have to entirely redo as well. I don't really draw loli-esque characters, you know? I don't draw smaller characters, don't draw kids. So it's one of those things that I kind of want to fix up a little bit. Especially since the outfits are so different from what Gura would wear. And then finally I had Iris, whose sketches, all of which, I liked. I think Iris is the only one that I don't have to change any of the sketches for. Maybe Callie's are okay. I might have to work them, tweak them a little bit. But Iris's, I don't have to change. I think they're all fine. I maybe have to finish them up a little bit, but they embody the vibe that I wanted. And she has 5 instead of the 4 that everyone else has. I think that's because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for the cover pages for each individual section. I wasn't sure if I wanted to draw them in their like standard model, or if I wanted to do like one of their casual wears or something like that. But I'll probably just do their standard models for those pages. Sorry, I was adjusting my chair a little. But I'll show you guys now. I will rewrite essentially what I have for my original draft. The things that I have written down. So I was thinking originally when I did this, I was not going to do just one lookbook. I was going to do multiple. The plan was that, what do we have? I have a regular pen. I don't. I think this works. So the plan originally was Hololive, which I use kind of as a universal Holo English branch. Lookbook ideas. So the main layout idea I had for this one was that section 1 would be with an insert Iris. Section 2 would be Tempest 1. Which is the first half of Tempest and Utopia. And then I would do Iris 2. Which I ended up moving these around a little bit. Section 3. Sorry. Section 3 would be Council. Section 4 would be Tempest 2. Section 5 would be Mix, Seasonal, and Resort Wear. So at this time, I also wasn't thinking that I would include the Hololive merch in any sense. I wasn't thinking there was enough like shirts or accessories or like casual clothing items to include, which sort of changed as the year went on. Now I would say that there's probably enough that I could do it as just a full section of Hololive merch items that I kind of like the look of, or things like that. But at the time, I had just this general plan of what the layout was going to be. What I would say it is now is more like, let me duplicate this. I don't have to go at it. Now it's expanded. Now we have Iris's section. Second section is probably, well, it is after council. And then Tempest's second section for the Vanguard. Section 5 is Advent. And then section 6 is Armis. And then we have a final section, which is section 7, which is not just seasonal stuff. It is a mix as well as merch items. And that's encompassed by them generally all being group mixing. So it's not just Hololive, it's not just HoloStars, it's Holo English. And that's what the final layout is essentially right now. Let's move this over a little bit more. A little smaller. But when I originally laid it out, this is generally the idea I had. And I wanted irises, I think, so close together so that it didn't feel like it was intruding on, like, Council and Tempest. But also, like, I wanted to give irises the space that she kind of needed since she's by herself. But I feel like it does work better with her being after council, especially now that I have Advent and Armis to include as well. My dog is going crazy. He's like tossing himself all around on the ground. Hey! Stop! Stop. Sorry. So, the other thing that I did was make a chart. So I'm not going to write out the whole entire chart, but I did it by essentially doing this. And originally I had it by 2019 and 2023, because I did this in 2023. And then this was the name of the member. So it starts with like Ame, and then it just goes down from there to Leon. And so I looked through the brands by year, like what they had released in that year. I didn't go by season. Like I didn't choose specifically winter line, or like a summer line or a resort where I specifically like went by year first. So I did like Ame has Ferrari, but it was their 2019 line. And then Mochizno, but it's their 2023 line. And I wanted to be sure that I had like some mixture of I wasn't limiting them to wearing modern wear, you know? Because some modern wear doesn't really work for everyone's styling. So I kind of bounced between them. And then I think some of them got like older years. Like I tried to write some of them as having older lines because there were some brands that only had really specific releases. Like they only had one line release and it was in like 2016. So Ferrari has their own clothing brand, which kind of surprised me, but at the same time I suppose not really. They're an Italian brand, so if they got a clothing wear, it's because they're in Italy, you know? Or Spain, or whichever. But I felt like it worked for Ame. I tried to find first the 2019 ones and then the 2023 ones because I wanted to be sure that I explored older options first before deciding to go with something new. The new ones were essentially more like fill-ins for whether or not I liked something that was newer. If I couldn't find something in an older line that fit the character better. Or that I just wanted to like see the character in. Because there was some of them that I was considering putting in like lines from the 90s and 80s. But then I felt like it was leaning too close to Sailor Moon. Because a lot of Sailor Moon's enemy designs are based on runway wear from like the 80s and 90s. So I didn't want to go too far back and get into that like close of a connection, but I still listed out at least 2 brands for everyone. For Axel specifically as well, I did Tommy Hilfiger, and then it has has Blood Brother, and I have this little symbol in between them, and this is how I know this is where I like started changing my mind about things, because I liked the 2019 Blood Brother stuff more than I did the 2023, and I like the 2023 Tommy Hilfiger stuff better than the 2019 one. So that's kind of where I decided, like, no, it doesn't have to have dates. I have the top scratched out like that. So at some point, I'll probably go through them again, and when I'm like sketching them out, I'll be sure to mention which brands they actually are. But the pictures are already updated to what I ended up liking for each of the characters. Some of the ones that I said I had the brands written down for, as I said, not the actual brands that they are wearing or that I like chose for them. So these are old plans. I also wrote brands for section 5, which was the mix and seasonal resort wear. So I have Gucci, but I specifically have the spring, summer 23. Running out of space. The spring and summer 2023 line. And then I have a Hololive merch / Omo Cat. Sorry for my bad handwriting. I know it's incomprehensible. So I did plan on like having a merch section for Hololive, but I was specifically using the Omo Cat stuff because I think that was the only thing really out at the time. Then I have a men's section, and then I have a women's section. There was Landlord. I'm sorry, my spelling is going to get really bad because I'm looking at my book. Les Holmes. Believa. will leave. That might be totally incorrect. It might be Gulliver. I don't know. Then, the women's section has Marc Jacobs. And these were brands that I had wanted to draw with somebody, but I didn't know who. So that's why I was putting them in the, like, mixed section. As well as Mame Kuro. And then I have Bara Katsu. Throm. And Throm Brown. And I specifically have the pre-fall 23 line for Throm Brown. Then for mixed looks is Dior, who I've always really liked their men's and women's lines. Versace, because I wanted to include Versace. And I know they have pretty good both men and women lines. And then Valentino. So Valentino, I think, was one where I was like, I need one more big brand. One more big one that people know. And Valentino was that one. So I remember liking something of their resort wear or something like that. And I want to be sure I watched that or drew that. So that was the planned section 5 originally. So incomprehensible. I know, I'm so sorry. This pen is crazy. But that was what the mix was supposed to be. Then it would end with a sauna send-off. And I did write a specific brand for it. Homo Ozumi. And I'll have to check that out later. See what it was that I was thinking of using there. There's still a lot of like fashion stuff from this draft that I didn't include because I was getting very tired. I had to like literally copy paste. I put it into the mood board, make sure I have it saved for later when I have to like write out my sources and all of that. So this was a lot of like writing planning to go into the research easier, which I still have a lot of to do. But I'm very excited for it. The other thing about this planning was that I planned other lookbooks, or I wrote down ideas for other lookbooks, which were women's accessories. Oops, cancel. Women's accessories. And I didn't write accessories. I misspelled it in my book. Women's accessories, 5 per item. Bags and earrings. Men's accessories. Oops. Men's accessories, which also has 5 per item. Bags and glasses. What's wrong, Mama? What's wrong, Mama? Okay. Okay, so the accessory book that I was planning was going to overall. Don't start getting crazy. Lay down. Don't start getting crazy. It's okay. It's okay, Mama. The accessory book overall was going to have 85 pages. And I want to cap it out at 85 pages. Which is why there's like 5 per item. And then there was a both section. Which would be about 20 of the pages. So this was 10 pages, this was 10 pages. And then 20 pages, 10 per item. No, sorry, hold on. I think this is 20 pages. I think these are also 20 pages. I don't remember. Because I didn't totally write everything out, but I tried to plan about how many pages it was going to be based on other designs and art books and things that I've seen. 10 per item, and then I wrote down a bunch of brands and what from those brands I wanted. Brands, blah 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 blah. And then underneath that, I have another section where I did a shoes book plan because I've always been very into shoe design from a visual standpoint, which is another 85 pages. And I think I did both of them as 85 pages in case I wanted to combine them. I didn't want it to be too many if I decided that I did want it. And then I chose specific models. So the main models were Ina, Des, Haka, and Fauna. And they were going to be pretty much in every single page. The other people who I was going to like try and have the second most amount of appearances from were Vesper, Mume, Ame, Iris, Yara, and Gabbis. And part of that is because I felt like they would look good in about any shoe styles, but I also didn't want to draw too many characters. So these two groups would be appearing the most out of the book, with the main ones appearing in every single page, and then the side ones appearing like every 3 to 4 pages in some amount. And then was the cameo group, which was pretty much everyone else in the 2 branches. And those are people that would only appear in 1 page out of the entire book. Like they would only be able to be found on a single page. After that would be like how big the poses would be. So there would be 45 pages of full body pictures or posed pictures. And then there would be 20 pages of half body. And then 20 pages of just shoes / sketches. So it would kind of switch between or balance between being like a full lookbook and being specifically about shoe designs, where the Hololive members were just models within it. It wouldn't necessarily be like in the way that I was planning this first lookbook, the general one with literally everyone in it, where everyone gets a certain brand. It would be more about the shoes in this case, where I have specific brands or specific shoes that I want to show, and then I would just choose who best fits that one. It was going to be much more general, something much more manageable, I guess. But I would be drawing a lot of shoes, I suppose, so think of that as manageable as you will. But together there are a lot of pages. I thought I would only do these if I did the full lookbook, the initial one, which I did do the page planning for as well, but it was much briefer than those ones. I had 5 per person, 5 pages per person, which would total to 100, because at the time there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There are about 20 people. And that's counting Iris twice. So that would be about correct, the 100. And then 5 per style in section 5, which was going to be all of the group pictures, meaning that meant that was going to be about 70 pages. Pages. So I knew in total it was going to be at least 170 pages just of drawings. That wasn't including any of the insert pieces, that wasn't including any of the section breakers, and that wasn't including any commentaries that I would have included at the beginning or end of the thing, as well as the cover pages themselves. And that was because I wanted to be sure I had a good idea of how many brands, how many drawings I was going to be doing in total. I know that 100 pages sounds like a lot. 100 pages, that's a lot of drawing, but it's not. It's not as bad as it sounds. The bad thing about it would probably be like making them completed pictures, would be making them like fully rendered or something like that. And the plan wouldn't be to fully render every single picture. This is not possible. Especially now that I've added another 100 pages, almost another 70 or so pages, because this is 170, and then after I've added that, in total right now it's at 228. So it's not a crazy difference, but it's still a big difference. It's like another 20 to 40 pages. But that also includes inserts at that point. So the 100 pages is not the hard part. It's the 100 completed pictures. Not all of them would be able to be completed. Not even all of the 70 pages would be able to be completed. There'd definitely be like sketches thrown in there rather than full rendered drawings. Like using Iris as the example, since I like all of her drawings, I would probably leave this one as fairly sketchy. I might throw in some wash colors in there, because you kind of get what the look looks like. It's a fairly simple look. It's nothing crazy. but I probably wouldn't worry too much about rendering it if I didn't feel like it. So there's always the chance that there's something like that in these groups. So this wouldn't actually be like a full 100 drawings. It'd just be 100 pieces, pages of art in varying degrees and stages. That's also kind of what I wanted to embody with the test page. I wanted to be sure that if I didn't want to individually color each piece of the clothing or like do every single bit of coloring in it, that it would still look alright, that it wouldn't be too jarring of a thing to see without. Like, this is just literally a sketch with some assorted colors over top of it. So that's why I kind of studied or did that practice drawing that way, to be sure, like, if I did it this way, if I want to save myself some time, is there something kind of stylish that I could do to make sure it was still getting done, you know? So that's kind of why this looks like that. And what I mean by, like, it's not going to be 100 completed drawings. It's not going to be like, it's not all going to look exactly the same. But there's also the fact that I wanted to have the introduction sections, the parts that have like their name and not the parts that have their name. Which parts? The parts that were the group photos. Here, hold on. We'll switch back so I can explain it. But essentially the parts that introduced their generation together. So I have like this HoloMyth section, right? I wanted these pages to be animated since they would have the group in them. And then I was thinking about having these pages that are just the ones with their names also be animated, but I figured that would be probably too much. And it would be nicer to have like the group photos animated. Very lightly, like live 2D style, like just a couple of moving parts, a little bit of movement in the background or something like that. And that they would also make nice little digital wallpapers if someone wanted to get it that way, that I would provide for free. But also keep in mind, I was doing this entire thing with the idea that it would be a free project that I was doing. Like, I wasn't doing it super fast. Obviously, it's taken me like a year to get even beyond like sketches or talking about it, you know? So when I say like I was doing this for free, I mean like I was doing it as a secondary project in my free time to one day be out for free. Something totally passion worthy, but also like totally non-committal. I am committing to it to a certain degree now. We're going to be working on it all of next month, all of this coming month. So as things go and I do more drawings of this stuff, I am going to choose some very specific images, probably a lot of the cover ones where like it's their name on it, or the group ones, and work on those specifically on stream. I can't ensure that we're going to be able to finish more than 3 or 4 of them. I've still got like work and like I have people visiting right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in general. I'm still trying to get some video essay stuff done, see where that's going and all of that. But it's a very it's a project I'm excited to do. It's one this isn't the first time I've wanted to do a lookbook. This isn't the first time that I wanted to, like, draw characters in random fashions and stuff. I think the first time I did something like this was with... I think it was with some of my OCs, probably. Let me see. But it's also not the first time I wanted to make a sign or, like, how do I describe it? Like a fan project of some sort. There was time where I wanted to make a Pokemon fan doujin, about Corviknight. There it is. Picture I'm thinking. Might be even older than I'm thinking now. Oh, wait. This one. So the first time I probably thought about, like, doing a lookbook proper was this picture. This is Dioscuri from Fate Grand Order. They are the twin Geminis, and the outfits that they're wearing right now are actually from the show Buffy. They're old versions of Buffy's outfits that I changed to gold. So this was probably one of the first times where I considered, like, oh, how cool would that be to dress up, like, characters in fashion that they're not normally in, and, like, make that a magazine. And the first time where I saw someone actually do that was with Vox Akuma's birthday magazine, I think. There was some Niji Sanji fan project that people did where they just made, like, a literal magazine. They included a bunch of stuff. Another time I saw it was with, there's an artist, I think her name is Alexis? She's very pink. She likes the color pink. And she did the Monster Factory characters from the YouTube series Monster Factory and put them in, like, a magazine. That was another time where I saw that kind of idea and was like, oh yeah, I really like that idea. I wish I could do something like that. So this project is a very long line of, oh man, I wish I could do something like that. So there's that aspect of, like, committing to the idea as well. And I'm very excited to do it. I'm very excited to, like, finally be like, oh yes, time to work on it. Time to work on it as much as I want. So, give me 1 second, okay? Alright. So, I actually don't have anything else for today. I wanted to make sure that we did some of the planning. I thought about looking through Tagwalk for Advents stuff. But when we were looking through the draft that I have, I realized one of those people was partially visible underneath the clothes. So I know that Tagwalk has a lot of other mature images in it at that point, or in general, because fashion. It's about the body. So, I won't be looking at that on stream, but I'll have the rest of Advents and Armistice stuff picked out. I'll go over that tomorrow, on stream, and then we can get into like actually deciding what we're gonna be doing. I'll probably redraw some of these drawings, probably Ina's specifically, because Ina's and Gura's I don't feel great about. Like, I don't feel great about any of their sketches so far, so we'll probably do those ones. But I'll be looking at Advent and Armis stuff today, as well as probably the group pictures. I'll probably try to decide if I want them in different outfits or in these outfits that I've already drawn them in, you know? Maybe just coagulate them into the group pictures. I also have to decide who's going to be in those group pictures, I suppose. Maybe we'll do that on stream. Maybe we won't. I don't know. I don't want to do too much planning on stream, you know? I want us to be able to work on stuff directly. But for today, that's going to be it. I know it's a bit of a short stream. I know I pretty much just talked through the whole thing. But, I have some other stuff going on today as well. As you heard, I had someone knock on my door. I got both the dogs out and all that, and my throat's getting dry. I think I might be getting sick, but I'm not totally sure. We're gonna see how I feel after tomorrow's stream. Or I suppose after today. But that's gonna be it for today. I'll have February schedule probably after Saturday. There's some like scheduling stuff at work that we're trying to figure out, but hopefully it all works out. Hopefully I'll be back to streaming 3 days a week. And after February, you know, I'm gonna go casual streaming stuff actually. I mentioned this a couple times before, where it's not a problem, but there's some other stuff that I want to work on, and streaming takes a pretty good chunk of time from that. But it doesn't mean that I'll be stopping altogether. If I do stream, it'll still be on the same days. It just, there won't be any schedule at the beginning of the month. There won't be any weekly schedule. If we are doing it, it's probably going to be drawing. I might scatter in some more drawing stuff in there though. And a lot of the stuff I'll be moving to edited content. Probably over on YouTube, but also like blog posts and stuff like that. I'm excited to branch out and do some new things. See where the winds take me. Nice stream. Hearing about the project was very interesting. Good. I'm glad it was at least a little bit interesting. I really like making projects like this, especially when there's things that I've been thinking about so long. At some point, we might do stuff about that Pokemon doujin I was talking about, because that's another idea that I've been like, I really want to do that. I really want to like finally put stuff down for that. So I have some stuff down for it, but I don't know if that'll ever be the case. I don't know how likely that is, because it actually it's a complicated thing. I can't explain all of it right now, but it even has some OC-like tendencies in it. It runs with canon, but also doesn't. It's a whole own thing. So that'll be all for today. Thank you for joining me, Ashvin. Much appreciated. Thank you to everyone else who also dropped in. Thank you, Kasu. Glad your coffee cake turned out really good. As always, I want to mention that there is a Discord now. I will copy and paste. Actually, I think I have a prompt for it. It is 16 plus. It used to be 18 plus, but I've changed it to 16 plus because like no one's talking in there anyways. It's a chill vibe. So it's 16 plus, and that's just so that we're not like, we don't have really young people arguing with older people over nonsense topics. I don't want to like have a place where people join just to end up arguing and stuff like that. I want it to be a nice chill place where we can share random stuff beyond stream. So I have one of those. Feel free to join. That link is infinite, but it has 50 uses. So if it doesn't work, let me know. There's not even nearly 50 people in there, but you never know. Discord's weird these days. I hope you have a good day. I'm doing the outro now. I hope you have a good day, whether it's tomorrow or today. And goodbye.